Hello students, I am Professor Navneet Kaur from EC Department, SIRT College, Bhopal. Today I will be taking lecture of subject Digital Communication. The topic of my lecture is Adaptive Delta Modulation. In this lecture, I will be discussing basic concept behind the system Adaptive Delta Modulation. Then further, I'll discuss the transmitter block diagram of the Adaptive Delta Modulation and will explain its working. Similarly, I will also explain the receiver block of the adaptive delta modulation. And in the end, I will compare all the analog to digital conversion methods like PCM, DPCM, ADM, and delta modulation. Now, to start with the lecture, now I'll start with the introduction to adaptive delta modulation. Adaptive delta modulation is basically a type of delta modulation. We have already discussed in our previous lecture about delta modulation that there are two limitations in delta modulation system. One is slope overload distortion and other is granular noise. Now, adaptive delta modulation is mainly used to overcome slope overload distortion and granular noise which is occurring in delta modulation. In adaptive delta modulation, the step size varies according to the input signal. We require a large step size in the steep slope of the modulating signal, and a small step size is required when the message has a small slope. There is no there is no provision provided in delta modulation to control the step size in to control the step size according to the message signal. So we need to have control over the step size according to our requirement so that we are able to obtain the sample output in the required fashion. This is the main concept behind adaptive delta modulation. So adaptive delta modulator is basically used to quantize the difference between the current signal value and the predicted value of the signal. It uses variable step height in order to predict the consequent values. The logic for step size control is included in adaptive delta modulator. The step size increases or decreases according to certain rule depending on 1-bit quantizer output. For example, if 1-bit quantizer output is high, the step size may be doubled for next sample. Whereas if 1-bit quantizer output is low, then step size may be reduced by one step. So in ADM, the voltage gain, which is controlled by the amplifier, is adjusted by the output signal, which is produced from the sample. The step size is determined by the amplifier gain. This is because the step size is proportional to the amplifier gain. Now, first, we will discuss the differences between delta modulation and adaptive delta modulation. First thing, which is very important, that in delta modulation, step size is fixed for the whole signal, whereas in adaptive delta modulation, the step size varies depending upon the input signal. The slope overload and granular noise errors which are present in delta modulation system are not seen in adaptive delta modulator. Third, the dynamic range of adaptive delta modulation is wider than delta modulation. And in the last, the modulation utilizes bandwidth more effectively than delta modulation. Now, in this block diagram, we are going to explain the ADM transmitter. Here we can see the basic block diagram of the delta modulator system where the sampled input is compared with the approximated signal which is generated by using the previous samples. Now error is given to the 1-bit quantizer. Now in delta modulator, what happens that the output of the 1-bit quantizer is either plus delta or minus delta depending upon the sign of error ENTS. Now this quantizer output is given to the previous approximated signal and both signals are added to generate present approximated signal UNTS. Now in ADM, we can see an additional block for logic for step size control. Now when we are generating the output of 1-bit quantizer, the logic for step size control is operated on the quantizer, and we get the output of the quantizer, that is step size, which varies according to the message signal. So here, when the previous approximated signal is added to the step size, this step size is varying according to the input signal. So accordingly, the present approximated signal is generated, and the difference between the sampled input and the approximated signal is reduced. So here we can see the comparison of adaptive delta modulation and delta modulation. Now here we can see the message signal which is having a steep slope. That is, message is showing a variation in in its amplitude. Now if we are using delta modulation, we can see the behavior of the approximated signal here, which is shown dotted here. In delta modulation, since the step size is fixed, we can see that the approximated signal is being increased by delta step at every sampling instant. And there is a large difference between the message signal and the approximated signal. Now, we can see the behavior of the adaptive delta modulator. Now, as we can see that when there is a steep slope of the message signal, there is a step size increase in the approximated signal. Now, the step size we can see varies according to the message signal. When there is large increase in the message signal, the step size is being increased by large steps. And so we can see there is small difference between the message signal and the approximated signal in case of ADM. So here the error between the message and the approximated signal is reduced in case of adaptive delta modulator as compared to delta modulator. So this is the basic block diagram of the ADM transmitter. Here we can see the sampled input is being compared with the approximated signal, and the error signal, which is the difference of the two signals, is generated. Then it is given to the comparator or quantizer, which will quantize it to the nearest integer value. Now here we have pulse generator, which will generate the train of the pulses. Now the error signal, quantized error signal, is being multiplied with the output of the pulse generator, which is the series of the pulses. Now ADM signal is generated. So this ADM signal now is given to the step size control unit. This ADM signal is given to the variable gain amplifier, and the gain of this amplifier is being controlled by the gain control input, which is generated by using low pass filter and the square law device. Now whatever is the output of whatever is the ADM signal, it is given to the low pass filter. Low pass filter will sum up the coming ADM signal, and this integrated signal will given to the square law device, which will control the gain of the variable gain amplifier. So here we can see that when a message is showing increase in its amplitude, the approximated signal will increase by the steps to follow the message signal. So here the ADM signal is shown in the second waveform. Since there is an increase in the approximated signal, the ADM signal will have output 1. So here we can say high output for the ADM signal. Now, as the approximated signal goes on increasing, we can see the variation in the step signal. There will be change in the step signal as the approximated signal is being increased by step size every time there is increase in the step size according to the variations in the input signal. So when the approximated signal has amplitude greater than the message signal, then the approximated signal is reduced by step delta, and so here we can see the ADM signal is being represented by the low level. Now we will see the detailed block diagram in further slides also. Now here we can see the generated ADM signal, the behavior of the message signal and the approximated signal. So here we can see the step size of the approximated signal is showing increase as there is a increase in the message signal. So for every increase in the step in the approximated signal, the transmitted signal at the output is 1. And whenever there is decrease in the approximated signal, then the transmitted signal here is 0. And now we can see as there is decrease in the approximated signal, the step size goes on reducing as there is a sharp decrease in the amplitude of the message signal. So here we have block diagram of continuously variable slope delta modulator, which is a type of adaptive delta modulator. Here we have difference amplifier, which will compare the sampled input with the approximated signal. The error signal delta t is generated. Now here we have pulse generator. The pulse generator will generate the train of the pulses. The pulse train PIT is of positive pulses. The modulator will receive PIT and the error signal delta t. The modulated output P naught t is input pulse train PIT multiplied by +1 or -1 depending upon the polarity of delta t. Here we can see the RC combination. The RC combination serve as an integrator. The voltage across capacitor being proportional to the integral of the pulse signal P naught t, and it is used to control the gain of the amplifier. So assume that xt, that is message signal, is making small exertions and are within the step size. The P naught t, which is the output signal, will consist of alternate polarity pulses. These pulses, when integrated, yield an average output of almost zero. The gain control input is zero and hence gain is zero. The gain decreases and thus the step size will also be reduced. Now consider the case of slope overload. If xt increases rapidly, the output P naught t is the train of all positive or all negative pulses. The integrator averages and provide larger voltage to increase the gain of the amplifier. Because of squaring circuit, the amplifier gain will increase and hence the step size will increase and there will be reduction in slope overload. So this is how the adaptive delta modulator works, and it controls the step size of the approximated signal, which will then follow the message signal, and there will be small error between the message signal and the approximated signal. So this is the description of the ADM transmitter. Now here we have the block diagram of the ADM receiver. Here we can see the transmitted signal which is received at the receiver, which is in the form of a single bit, either 1 or 0. Then the logic for step size control is applied and the signal is generated. This step size will be added to the previous approximated signal and will generate a present approximated signal, which will be then given to the low pass filter, and the low pass filter will remove the noise effect and we will get a smooth message signal. So here the detailed ADM receiver, this is the received ADM signal which is given to the low pass filter. See, here we have explained the working of the ADM receiver. Now the received signal is in the form of a 1 or 0. So here we can see the received signal either showing by positive pulse or negative pulse. So here we will have when a series of positive pulses, that is series of ones, are transmitted, then in that case these signal will this signal is given to the variable gain amplifier. Now this amplifier will amplify the incoming signal according to the gain, which is controlled by the gain control input, which is being operated by the square law device and the low pass filter. Now, low pass filter will act as an integrator which will sum up the incoming ADM signal. Now, when we have sequence of ones or high voltage, then when it will be sum up by the low pass filter, it will generate the high value. And this high value, when given to the square law device, it will generate a larger value, which will increase the gain of the variable gain amplifier. So the gain control input of the variable gain amplifier will be high, and the signal, whatever is being given to the amplifier, will be amplified by the larger amount, and we will get a larger signal here. So here we can see that the step size will increase and we will get a larger approximated signal. So now, according to this feedback loop in the receiver circuit, we will get the approximated signal like this. Here, the step size varying is being varied according to the message signal, because the message signal has generated the ADM signal, in which the ADM signal is generating either series of ones, or we have alternating 0 or 1, which depends on the magnitude of the input signal. Now, when this approximated signal XQT is given to the low pass filter will remove the effect of the noise, and the recovered signal will be similar to the message signal, which is being shown here. So here the receiver has two portions, as already explained. The first portion will produce the step size from each incoming bit, and then it is applied to the second portion, which is an accumulator, which builds up staircase waveform, which is our approximated signal. The low pass filter then smoothen out the staircase waveform to reconstruct the original signal. Now this is how we will receive our message signal back. Now here we have comparison of digital pulse modulation method. We are comparing here four analog to digital conversion methods: pulse code modulation, differential pulse code modulation, delta modulation, and adaptive delta modulation. Now, first parameter of comparison is number of bits. As we have already discussed in our previous lecture, PCM can use 4, 8, 16, or more bits per sample. In DPCM, bits can be more than 1, but it is always less than PCM. Whereas in delta modulator, only 1 bit per sample is used. And in ADM also, because it is a type of delta modulator, again only 1 bit is used to encode one sample. Now the second parameter of comparison is levels and step size. In PCM, the number of levels depends on number of bits, so step size here is kept constant. In DPCM, fixed number of levels are used, because and in delta modulator also, like DPCM, step size is kept fixed and cannot be varied. Whereas in ADM, according to the signal variation, step size is varied. Now quantization error and distortion. In PCM, quantization error depends on the number of levels used. In DPCM, quantization error exists. In delta modulation, slope overload and granular noise effect is there. In ADM, only quantization error is there, which is very small, whereas slope overload and granular noise are absent in ADM. Now, transmission bandwidth, as we have already discussed, in PCM, more number of bits per sample is used, so the transmission bandwidth is highest. Whereas in DPCM, it is less than PCM, and in delta modulation and adaptive delta modulation, only 1 bit is used to encode one sample, so the transmission bandwidth is lowest in both the cases. Now, feedback. In PCM, there is no feedback. In DPCM and in delta modulation and ADM, we have feedback from output signal to the input sample input. Then the system complexity. In PCM, we have complex system, whereas in DPCM, delta modulation, and ADM, we have simple modulation system. Now, this is all for today's lecture. Thank you.